Welcome back to Oddie's Airsoft, and today we are looking at the G&G GR16 Carbine, and this is the Sportsline version. It's a full blowback, and as I said, it's the Sportsline version. That means it is on the lower end of the budget.
This review has been brought to you in part by Main Irish Airsoft.
Now, does that make it a lesser gun because it's lower end? Well, let's go and find out and have a look. So let's look at the externals of this gun. For our money, and as I said, this is a Sportsline, so it's made for the cheaper end of the airsoft market. We have a full metal barrel, we have a typical A-pillar sight, which I'm not a keen fan of A-pillars, but you know what? Again, the model that it is, it works fine. We move down to a very plasticky ABS style handguard. Now, the only thing going in the favor of this, even though it is quite plasticky, is that it's a matte finish on it. It's not shiny like some of them are, and therefore it doesn't look too shabby, but it just does feel a bit plasticky. But you know what? I could live with that. It's the Delta ring here, allows you access the batteries. The batteries go in here. It will take, I would recommend like a nunchuck style battery. I've tested this on a 9.6 nickel metal hydride battery, and I had no issues whatsoever. Coming down again, the shell here is all made of that, well, do you know, it's cold to touch, so I would imagine it's some sort of alloy. And I don't know the quality of the metal there, but again, it feels quite solid. Comes with a 300 round mag, high capacity, and there is a slight bit of wobble in it, but you know what, again, nothing compared to some of the really bad ones that we've looked at. APS in particular were dreadful with this. It has then the charging handle, which will reveal the hop unit in here, and we come back to the stock, and it has, I think, about 4 or 5 positions to come back on, and it is again very, very plasticky feeling. But you know what, if you are that way inclined and wanting to pimp it up, you could buy many different clone stocks that will go onto this here, and you know, you'll improve the quality of the look no end. Has the carry handle here, again made of that sort of plasticky, it look, you know, I say it's plastic, but it feels again cold to touch, which would indicate to me that it's more of a kind of an alloy being used there, and then the rear aperture sight there. So on the other side here, don't mind the little sticker here, we have a few trades, property of government, M4A1 carbine, the usual Cal 6mm. I don't know why they do that at all, but and they have then a little sort of COLT logo here. Kind of makes it a, you know, a nice finish to the gun. The real question is this a performer? Well, we took this into field and we gave it a little bit of a run around and a quick fire test, took out a mark, and we'll get into that little bit of footage right now for you, and then we'll come back for a conclusion. Basically, I'm up here at Hilltop. It's a very windy day. And the reason why I'm here is because I know I've got some great windbreakers here with the trees. I've got some nice funnels here so I can kind of see where the BBs are going. I know they're not going to scoot around too much with the wind. So downrange, we have a trunk at the very end of this sort of funnel of trees here. And I know it's 40 meters away. How I know that is because I've used a rangefinder. This is a Hawk 600 rangefinder, and it's a superb piece of kit. I've zeroed it in. I know that that tree trunk down there is 40 meters exactly, 41 to be precise. So we're going to get into a little bit of a test now, see how it goes. This is on semi, and then full auto, and then we just give it a quick wind up. This is a high cap mag, takes around 300 BBs, comes standard with a gun. Now, every one of those are hitting the mark, no problems whatsoever. So I only sort of slightly dialed up the hop unit, and how you get to the hop unit is you pull back the charging handle and you can access it through here. And I only just gave it a slight tweak, so I reckon I could certainly increase the range further down the line and you know, just tweak the hop unit a little bit more. And don't forget, this is a brand new gun, straight out the box. Hop units take about 4,000 or 5,000 BBs to kind of bed the hop rubber to get the maximum out of the range of the gun. So something to be aware of. Whilst I'm hitting 40 meters, I would expect this to do a down sight more once it's up and running and bedded in. So that's the GR16 Carbine from G&G. So to conclude, this is a solid performer. Forget the Sportline tag. You know, the little bit of plastic that is used will lighten the gun. This will suit a much smaller, younger player. And that's where the market is, you know, for the Sportline really is geared for, because a lot of the older guys that play airsoft, they're working, they can afford more expensive gooch, and they tend to buy it. So most of the youngsters starting out will start out with a gun similar to this. And this is where this one excels. I really would recommend it. Now, there has been a number of rumors that G&G have lost their quality and aren't as, you know, sort of paying attention to their manufacturing process over the last while. There's been a huge batch of guns coming out of the factories that have had major issues with their selector switch, that even on safe, it was actually going into full auto burst if somebody accidentally pulled the trigger. They seem to have alleviated all of those problems. They obviously had an issue along the line, but most good companies do tend to, you know, claw back, you know, from issues that they have and fix them. G&G have been no different. The selector switch on this is actually very crisp. It's one of the crisps, one of the most positive ones I've used in a while, and that's what I love about that. It's the same feel on the, you know, the switch here as you would have on their high-end ones, which, you know, goes to show that they're employing a lot of their high-end technology on their Sportline range, which is brilliant. For the money that you're paying for this, this is a win-win gun. I can't recommend it high enough. I think it's a, you know, a nice piece. Would I buy it? Well, do you know what? Probably not, because then again, I'm not in the market for Sportslines. I'm really sort of hard pushed to use anything other than my Noveski, which is a custom built gun. And but you know, as I said, if you are in the market for a Sportline, check this out. Well worth a look.